The 7 people who will be inducted in 2011 are Kathy Mattea, and Kathy needs no introduction. She is perhaps the most revered musician that West Virginia has brought to the world, I think. She's also given back more than I think any other West Virginia musician. Billy Cox, he was from Wheeling, and he was best known as Jimi Hendrix's longtime bass player. They met while stationed in the Army in Kentucky, played in R&B bands, traveled the Chitlin Circuit. But when Hendrix moved to New York and then later to London, he asked Billy Cox to join him. Cox declined, and as they say, the rest is history. But after the experience broke up, Hendrix called his old friend, and they got together again, and Cox played with him at Woodstock, recorded a number of records, and has since played with Charlie Daniels Band. And in 2009, Billy Cox was inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville. Butch Miles, jazz drummer extraordinaire. Actually born in Ohio because his parents were on a vacation for the 4th of July, but his mother quickly got back to Hinton, which is where he was raised. He's one of the top shelf jazz and big band drummers in the country. He played with Count Basie's band for more than 20 years, and the last time the Basie band played Charleston, it was billed as the Count Basie Band featuring Butch Miles. The list of names of artists that Butch has played with is just astounding. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis, Dave Brubeck, Mel Torme, Lena Horne, Ella Fitzgerald, Woody Herman, Benny Goodman, Tony Bennett, Rosemary Clooney, Zubin Mehta, Itzhak Perlman, and the list goes on. And Butch continues to play. He also teaches at jazz clinics and universities. Connie Smith, and she was born in Elkhart, Indiana, but grew up in Hinton. And perhaps this is all you need to hear about Connie Smith. This is a quote from Dolly Parton. "There's really only 3 female singers in the world: Streisand, Ronstadt, and Connie Smith. The rest of us are only pretending." Take that one in for a second. So Connie has been a longtime member of the Grand Ole Opera, had an incredible string of hits in the mid to late 60s. Her #1 song, Once a Day, was written especially for her by Bill Anderson, and spent 8 weeks at the #1 slot on the Billboard's country charts, the longest of any female country music artist in history. Connie is still considered to be one of the greatest and most underrated vocalists in country music history. She's married to country star Marty Stewart, and we look forward to both of them attending as well. In the deceased category, we have Diamond Teeth Mary. She was born in Huntington. She was the sister of legendary singer Bessie Smith. And she, during the 20s and 30s, she traveled minstrel shows and medicine shows. And I just watched a part of a documentary last night that's got some fascinating footage of her. She toured with the USO, sang at the Apollo Theater, the Cotton Club, and the White House. She sang alongside greats like her sister Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, Big Mama Thornton, Ray Charles, Charlie Parker, Nat King Cole, Count Basie, and Duke Ellington. And she also had, her influence has gone farther. Levon Helm from the band mentions her in his biography. He saw her when he was a very young man growing up. And she continued to perform until her death at the age of 97, appearing at blues festivals with the likes of Derek Trucks, Robert Cray, and Jeff Healey. Now, if you're going to talk about a unique West Virginian, Jack Rollins could be the guy. He was born in Kaiser, laid to rest in Kaiser, and along with his writing partner Steve Nelson, Rollins wrote Peter Cottontail, Frosty the Snowman, and Smokey the Bear. Those are his obviously best known songs. And I think it gives you an idea that he was definitely tapped into a songwriting ability that just connected with everyone of all ages, and his songs they're instantly recognizable by children today. His songs have been recorded by a long list of people. Martina McBride, Henry Mancini, The Carpenters, Nat King Cole, Gene Autry, who had the first hit with Frosty the Snowman, Kenny G, Willie Nelson, and 2008 West Virginia Music Hall of Fame inductee Frankie Yankovic. The last inductee is Tommy Thompson. He was a native of St. Albans. He joined the Coast Guard, and while he was stationed in New Orleans, he was introduced to all the jazz greats and to Cajun music. He went back to get his master's at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, where he started playing the 5-string banjo. In 1971, he took first place at the prestigious World Champion Old Time Banjo Contest in Union Grove, North Carolina. That same year, he co-founded the original Red Clay Ramblers, which he anchored for 22 years. In 1974, the Ramblers began their long involvement with American musical theater, writing and performing a number of off-Broadway plays. Their music was featured in Sam Shepard's film Far North and numerous TV shows. Thompson also wrote and performed an acclaimed one-man show about American blackface minstrelsy, The Last Song of John Prophet. In 1995, the North Carolina Folklore Society honored Thompson with its Brown Hudden Folklore Award. So those are our inductees that we will welcome next October, and we hope you're with us then as well.